Point per game and no sign of slowing down despite being snake bitten in the past several games. Zach Hyman has been an absolute beauty this season for the Edmonton Oilers, and somehow, some way, other than when he's flashed up there on a graphic with the other three big guys, he's not getting much love at all. So you know what? I've done Nugent Hopkins videos, I've done Leon Draisaitl videos, I've done Connor McDavid videos. This is Dolynny TV, and it's about dang time we do a Zach Hyman video at last. Folks, welcome aboard. If you're new to the channel, what I want you to do right now is consider over the next 5-10 minutes, whatever it takes me to get through this video, hitting that subscribe button and sticking around. We are absolutely blitzing towards 10,000 subscribers, and I think really with the World Juniors involved this season, we could get there by the end of this month. So if you're new and you're enjoying the Oilers talk here on the channel, I suggest you hit the subscribe button and go talk and check out everything else that we have talked about so far this season. Now, folks, if you're returning or new as well, I want you to consider hitting the like on this video, and that way it just kind of gets out to all the folks that need to see the love for Zach Hyman on a Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, whenever you're tuning into this one. So Zach Hyman, what are we talking about? We're talking about 24 points in 24 games played. Yes, he either plays with Leon or Connor. He's played a couple with Nuge, who's been fantastic. Oh yeah, Tyson, you're already getting up and all in arms about somebody that's not really that special. Well, for Zach Hyman, here's the thing. He has a total of 7 power play points this season. The guy has been an absolute even strength monster for the Edmonton Oilers with a total of, well, you guessed it, 12 even strength assists, 5 even strength goals for a total of 17 points at even strength, 9 goals, 15 assists, 24 points all together in 24 games so far this season, all while doing it with a career low shooting percentage, other than, I guess not career low, it's near a career low, sorry, 10.1 and 6.4 is the career low for Zach Hyman, but you're talking about a guy who last season shot 12.7% on his shots for goals, and right now shooting 10.3. And like I said, he's been a little snake bitten of late, hitting posts, hitting blockers last second, and having sticks deflect things out of the way at the side of the net, kind of deal as that Marc-Andre Fleury stick did to him the other night. Now for Zach Hyman, he's playing 20 minutes and 31 seconds on the ice per game. That is a career high, so keep that in mind when we talk about these numbers. But you got to remember, he's been leaned on the penalty kill this season, and he's also a power play monster for the Oilers, sucking up a lot of power play time. For Zach Hyman, a career average of 48 points in 82 games, and 22 goals, 25 assists for 48 points. Right, so you're give or take a plus or a minus in one of those columns to get you to that 48, because that's only 47. However, for Zach Hyman, what he's on pace to do this year, and there's just too many graphics here for me to really break it down and get good screen grabs for you. However, you divide 87 shots by 24 games, multiply it by 82, he is on an absolute career pace in the shot department at 300. And I mean, if Zach Hyman's going to go out there and shoot 300 shots and score on 10.3 of them, we are going to have a pretty good go at 31-ish goals for Zach Hyman. Obviously, they start coming in bunches. That's going to change real quick for Zach Hyman. And let me tell you how much nicer it would be to have a 40-goal scorer in the lineup that isn't Evander Kane. That would be absolutely fantastic to get it for the Edmonton Oilers. And of course, too, a guy that last year in the playoffs was a playoff performer, so that's a nice get because he's had time with the Toronto Maple Leafs and really never averaged above a point per game in the playoffs or even close to a point per game. Last year, 11 goals in 16 games. The guy was a beauty. The other side, too, that you need to know is the possession metrics at 5-on-5 this year. Zach Hyman's one of those few Oilers that's actually positive and was positive last year, too. 52% in the Corsi for percentage. So again, Corsi is your shots, blocks, and misses for versus shots, blocks, and misses against. And at 52% on this Oilers squad, given how the defense has gone and the shots on goal department's been pretty much all year. That's not a bad percentage for a guy who plays top line, second line, and of course everywhere else. And that's only at even strength though, might I add. So keep that in mind for Zach Hyman right there. And the nice part too is despite his shooting percentage being lower, last year when he was on the ice, the on-ice shooting percentage for the team was only 8.4%. That has improved significantly to 11.1% this year. However, there's one key stat here, and this is where I was talking about things earlier in the year, is the team on ice save percentage when Zach Hyman is on the ice is 888 as opposed to 898 last year. So Zach Hyman, when he's on the ice, the goalies just aren't making saves for whatever reason. I'm not saying it's the goalie's fault, but I'm saying for whatever reason, when Zach Hyman is on the ice, the team is saving less than 90% of the shots it faces, despite Zach Hyman being positive in Corsi. So you'd assume he's outweighing that, but that's a pretty heavy mark to have against you. That said, though, for Zach Hyman, he pretty much even splits his offensive zone draws and his defensive zone draws. So, folks, what do we draw from everything I've just kind of told you? Like I said, I could have brought up the graphics, could have done that. It wouldn't really support the argument any differently. You can go to hockeyreference.com to figure out your own stats there if you would like. However, for Zach Hyman, what this is telling me this season is that he has become the player the Oilers thought he was, right? Last year, a couple of points, right? Not too bad of a season at all. 57 points or 54 points in 76 games, 27-27 split for those 54. However, when you talk about it for Zach Hyman, and you're talking about playing with Connor McDavid, you're talking about playing with Leon Draisaitl, night in, night out, night in, night out. You got to talk about putting up a little bit more points than that, right? You're the third tier guy on the team in that situation, depending on what Nuge is doing and if Nuge is healthy or not. But for the Oilers, what's happening here is now Zach Hyman's evolving into a player that's top tier just with Draisaitl and McDavid, right? When you talk about a guy making $5.5 million that could potentially be an 80-plus point producer for the Edmonton Oilers this year. And you got to remember, he's been snake bitten over the past 5 games. So think about that. If he scores 2 or 3 goals there, suddenly we're talking about a 90-point player for $5.5 million. Everybody's laughing about that contract for years now. But guess what? You know what? At 90 points per season for Zach Hyman, you're getting quite a gem there. And of course, with the offensive explosion that some teams are seeing for the offense this year, Zach Hyman getting a little bit of that boost in offense is not a bad get at all for our Edmonton Oilers, to be honest with you. So that's where we sit. I wanted to go through and just really have a video where we appreciate Zach Hyman for everything that he's done this year and kind of evolved into as an Edmonton Oiler early on in this season. What you can't forget to mention is his penalty killing contributions. We already mentioned his power play, but his penalty killing contributions are pretty huge, especially stepping up because Yamamoto's been out of the lineup for a while, stepping up and being a big time impact player on that penalty kill. Folks, I'm Tyson, this is Dolynny TV. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning. Like I said, this is just meant to be a little sleepier of a video, just kind of wake you up, get you going, get you ready for Oilers talk. And then we will be talking another big development today in Oilers land at practice here in a little bit. Folks, I'm up on out of here.